Do I call it bass? Do I call it boom? Do I call it bottom? Now they call it drop. So I didn't know what. So I just put them all in there. I said bass, boom, bottom, and I sampled it all on my little. Now I think at the time I had actually upgraded from an SB 1200 to the MPC 2000. Man. But anyway, so now I'm in there, I'm sampling, bass, boom, bottom. So now I need to create this bass pattern to go along with it. And I create this bass pattern and go bass, boom, bottom, bass, boom, boom, bottom. So I got that going, threw in a couple of little samples, and the more parts I put in it, it just didn't sound right. So I started taking parts out, and I just left it pretty raw. Just a kick, snare, bass, and me saying bass, boom, bottom over it. So I make that and another couple of tracks, and I give it to this kid to take to a car show. He comes back and goes, dude, I was the shine of the car show. Every single person at the car show was coming up to me saying, dude, what is that? What is that? Where did you get that? How can I get a copy? What is it? So I don't believe him. I said, dude, I did like all three of those songs in like 3 hours. He goes, well, you need to go back in there and do like 6 more or 7 more because this shit could sell. So I was like, okay. So I go back in, and in 3 weeks, the whole Power Supply album is finished. So now I want to experience it because obviously I don't believe him. So I go to this car show, and he said, put it in, and slowly people start walking over to his car, inquisitive. What is that? Who is that? He goes, this is my man right here. He made it. Dude, well, how can I buy a copy? I was like, I just made that pretty much for him. So throughout a 6-hour car show, I got a chance to suck in the culture of actually car stereos and how nuts and crazy these people was putting fish tanks and amps going like this in their cars, and girls out there selling woofers. And I was like, whoa, this some crazy shit. So now I feel what I'm doing. So I start thinking about the album cover based on what I just experienced. So I find this artist, this guy that draws shit, and I say, look, make the cover with a pickup truck with woofers on the back of it. I'm gonna call it Bass Boom Bottom Power Supply. And I go down to my distributor and I give it to Robbie. Robbie the Freitas from Bassin Records. He says, what the fuck is this? It's just bass. I can barely hear the highs, and there's no. And I said, Robbie, I went to a car show and these kids was going nuts on this shit. And he goes, well, I'll take 500, but I'm not gonna order like large quantities like I did with the Afro-Rican shit. So I was like, cool deal, no problem. He takes in a bunch of cassettes, and I didn't notice at the time, but those people in the car, high-end car stereo, only play CDs because they gotta have the best quality, right? So Robbie calls me back. I don't know what this crap is, but I'm starting to get some calls on it, and they're asking for CDs. And I said, well, I don't have any CDs and I don't have any money because all of my money I spent making the artwork and making the cassettes. So he goes, well, if you come down here, I'll give you an advance on some record sales and you can go make some CDs because this is what the kids are asking for. So I go and make some CDs. So he calls me before the CDs are even done. He goes, cancel that order for 1,000 and make it 2,500 because I got some more orders. I was like, cool. 3 days later, cancel that order for 2,500 because I need like 5,000 of them things. And I said, I don't have enough money for 5,000. Just stop by, Derrick. I'll give you the freaking money. I think you got something. So I said, all right, cool deal. So 5,000 was the first order. And when I knew this was really, really something was when other distributors started calling me. Do you have an exclusive? Do you have an exclusive with Bassin? How come you never gave us an opportunity? Where's the one sheet? And I had to explain to like 6 other distributors. I didn't even know this thing was going to take off like this. And he is right here in Miami. And that's why I didn't send it to Texas. And that's why I didn't send it to New York. And that's why I didn't send it to New Orleans. But now that I know you're interested, I'll make sure that you get some. So this thing blows up. Now instead of me going around the country performing in nightclubs and on stage, bunch of girls and drinking and bent the royal treatment, limousines, and club promoters giving us pats on the back and telling us we're the best thing, until the next artist come or whatever. So now I'm traveling all around the country in a customized Chevy Astro van selling bass. So I said, how can I get back to the stage? And because that was my passion, is like entertaining the crowd, the fans. Then I looked at the money. I was like, damn, this thing is doing pretty good. So I forgot completely the whole performing, the Afro-Rican, all of that. I threw it all off to the side. Mark had left, went to college. One opened up a towel business and started selling towel. So it's just me anyway. So now I'm really enjoying it. It's not so much just like a fad where I'm just doing it to make money. I'm actually having fun with it. So from that, I built a couple of high performance cars, and I really got into the whole car audio culture. And now I'm working on a new Power Supply record, by the way, and I'm also uh, working on some new Afro-Rican projects and building my new record label, which is Dream Chaser Entertainment.